Something seismic is brewing at Real Madrid, and it's centred on Eduardo Camavinga, the 23-year-old midfielder who arrived at the Bernabeu amid huge expectation in 2021 and now stands at a crossroads that could define his career. The last seasons have not been linear. Injuries interrupted his momentum and stalled the continuity every young talent needs. But the latest reports out of the club paint a different picture. Camavinga is back training with the ball, pushing to rediscover rhythm, and eager to show that the potential that attracted Madrid in the first place was never lost, only paused. For Xabi Alonso, whose plan depends on balance and tactical intelligence in midfield, Camavinga is not a disposable asset. He represents a tool that can be refined and deployed in several ways. That perspective explains why the club's response to interest from abroad has been so firm. Linked clubs, most prominently Newcastle United in recent speculation, have been described as capable suitors, reportedly prepared to offer a package in the region of Euros 40 million guaranteed, plus up to Euros 10 million in add-ons. On paper that sounds tidy to many observers, but Real Madrid have effectively drawn a red line. Offers under Euros 70 million will not be entertained. That threshold is not arbitrary. It represents a valuation based on potential growth, squad planning, and the modern premium for young midfielders who combine physicality with technical control. To sell now for less would be to trade a future starter for immediate but small profit, and Madrid's sporting leadership appears determined not to make that calculation. Internally, the story is as much about competition as it is about price. Camavinga shares a role with Aurelien Tchouameni, a dynamic partnership on paper that can be rotated or paired depending on the opponent. Xabi Alonso, judging how best to structure his midfield, sees depth as an advantage. The ability to choose between different profiles keeps opponents guessing and gives Madrid resilience over a long season across competitions. For the player himself, these are decisive months. If he remains, if the club keeps its line and spurns lower bids, his pathway is clear: fight for consistent minutes, sharpen positioning, improve decision-making, and convert flashes of brilliance into regular influence. That route is the classic Real Madrid development model. Take a young talent, invest in coaching and chemistry, and let the player grow into a defining role. Alternatively, a move would offer a different proposition. A transfer to the Premier League, where Newcastle operate, promises regular game time under intense scrutiny and a platform to accelerate growth in a different environment. For a 23-year-old, that's tempting, and it would reshape the narrative, from a Bernabeu project to a headline-making signing for a club on the rise. But the club's public posture, a clear and not for sale at anything short of an irresistible offer, does more than protect an asset. It sends a message to the market. It says Real Madrid are prepared to prioritise squad building and long-term competitiveness over immediate turnover, and it signals that elite clubs still place a high premium on young players who can be moulded into world-class performers. That stance has ripple effects. It raises the bar for potential suitors, alters negotiations across Europe, and makes Camavinga's situation a small but telling proxy for how top teams are thinking about youth valuations in 2025. Practically speaking, this situation will unfold in a handful of ways. Either a suitor meets the Euro 70 million benchmark, or Madrid soften if a player pushes for a move. Camavinga reasserts himself and becomes indispensable under Alonso. Or the club and player seek a compromise that balances minutes, wages, and sporting ambition. Whichever path materializes, the stakes are real. For Camavinga's confidence, for Madrid's midfield blueprint, and for the message it sends to the transfer market. Fans who want drama should watch the coming weeks closely. Training reports, minutes after the international break, and any signals from Madrid's sporting directors will reveal whether this becomes a defining transfer saga or a quiet investment in a young star who will help shape the next era at the Bernabeu. Either way, this is more than a negotiation about money. It's a test of vision, patience, and belief in potential. And at 23, Camavinga may have the last word if he turns opportunity into undeniable performance.